we can start with the usual sort of state of play with injuries, how's the squad looking?
Fully fit.
Nice position to be in. Does that include any of your slightly long-termers back?
No, they're where they are, but everybody else, we've had a practice match against Bristol Rovers on Tuesday, so certain people got 90 minutes, certain people played certain minutes, so all in all, it's been a really good week. We drew 1-1. It was a very good game, to be fair, and good exercise. Hopefully we can have a few of them to catch up some fitness for the ones who haven't been playing or the ones who need a bit. So, yeah, very good.
Is there anything in particular you've learned from that match, do you think?
Yeah, but that's just for me. I tried a different thing up front with Prince, with Billy. I had a line of 4 up there, and I wanted to see what that would do. I left sort of 4 up, and so what I realised is a definite place I got to play one of them, and a definite place I got to play the other. So, but that's for me. That's for my, and that's for their understanding of each other. And I asked them to do certain different things, and we got ourselves 1-0 up. We tried to score again from a corner, and they caught it and threw it out and scored. So, but it was a Glasgow goal, really good goal. So it was very, very good, very, very good. The game was played at a really ferocious level, which is excellent as well for both teams. So thanks to the referee and the linesman for doing it, and really, really cool. It all worked out great. It's nice to see Darryl as well, good friend of mine.
And as well as the fitness, is it important that matches like that do give you the chance to sort of try tactical things without points at stake?
Yeah, it's about the lads understanding the tactical things that I want to talk about, and them taking it out, carrying it out there and doing it, and then when we can re-show them it as well, sort of an overview, and it's a fantastic learning tool, because footballers are visual, and they need to, I understand that now, once they were out there. And you only got to get it wrong by 1 yard, 2 or 3 meters, and you're in terrible trouble. So, just to have an opportunity to do that and it not really count, and experiment a bit, and also give them a game, because they love playing rather than training. That's a fact. Everybody wants to play. They're all queuing up if I don't pick them. What about me? What about me? What about me? So it ain't about you. Let's just get on with it. So it's nice for them to go and play and show me what they can do. So worked out well.
Have you had anyone sort of knock on your door and say, why aren't I playing? Or do you imagine that you've usually been clear enough with them that they should understand? No,
it's about my relationship with them. I think when they're left out completely is the difficult one. If you're moved from the bench onto the pitch, or the pitch onto the bench, that's an easier one. If you're playing, or you're sub, and then someone else comes in for you and you're not involved, that's a difficult one. But not for me, it isn't, because I tell them the truth. I'm resting you, or leaving you out, or I'm using him because he's got those skills. So it's all about your communication, and I've been doing it for years, and it is sort of part of me anyway. I do talk too much.
How different is the challenge of Newport to the challenge of Bromley?
Chalk and cheese. They're very attack-minded. They're very play, pass, move, and completely insanely positive about where their forwards are when they're supposed to be defending. So they'll leave 4 up. So they're counter-attacking material, and we've all watched. I've got to say a quick shout out to my staff. They've been fantastic. We're already ahead of the game. They're doing ever so well. So well done for that, in the detail that they're giving us about our opposition. So I think that's the difference from me being out 4 years and being back in, the detail of information you get on the opposition and what they do and how many times they do it. So, but well done to Newport. They're trying to play I know their chairman really well. He wants to play a certain style. Obviously, his connections with Swansea City and what he did there was brilliant. So he's trying to replicate that at Newport. Takes patience, takes bravery, and their new manager's trying to do that. So we had one hell of a game on our hands. They were 1-0 up in the first, I don't know, minute and a half against Gillingham, and then they missed a penalty to go 2 up. So, are they in a false position? No, because they've let some goals in, but, really they're much better than their league position. So we got a fantastic game on our hands.
I think I heard the manager David Hughes in an interview after the Newport game, almost kind of being a bit frustrated with a lack of experience, wishing he had a fullback who played 250 games and all that sort of thing. Do you think there's a sort of swing back into the value of experience and what you've got in your team compared to the experience they've got in their team?
I don't know about a swing back. It's whether you can convince the club you work for that having data in your brain is really important. So for me, senior pros, they might not have a sell-on value, but they have a value, invaluable presence in your team because they have experience and they'll help the young ones around them. And I still feel I'm young enough to remember being brought up by senior pros, not managers. So that's what I'm trying to do to this lot here, and I got a fair few of them. So it certainly helped me out. Throwing Taft back in, he ain't played for, 8 weeks, and it's like he'd never been out last week. So yeah, I get where their manager is, but you got to work with the team you got, and I wouldn't be blaming any of my kids for being too young, really. But it does help, and I'm delighted I've got so many senior ones in my group.
I was going to ask about Ryan Tapazelli. Sometimes you get through that sort of first game when you haven't played for a while, a bit on, I don't know, maybe energy and adrenaline. Has he kind of followed that up with his training performances?
It's been outstanding. That's all I can say. We've had a really good week, so it's important we carry on. And that's what we've had a good start. It's about how you carry on. Now you keep going. And now it's the next 10 games, and then the next 10 games, and then, you set yourself targets. What can you get? What can you do? And you've got to try and get through. You've got to clear the next 10 points as quickly as you can, really. Can we break the barrier of, we've got 21, can we get to 30? Can we get past 30? Can we get to 40? How quick can you do those things? So it's all about your challenges, and you got to remember what gets you them. So nothing for granted in this league. Absolutely frantic month we're going to have. Really looking forward to it.
How do you handle not having a game next Saturday now with the Notts County? How does that change your kind of training and your focus, I guess?
Oh, God knows. Absolute nonsense. For me, don't make sense, that. Don't make sense. We should be playing. If we had 3 internationals, we almost have, but if we did, I'd expect to still play. Why that rule is any different in this division, who knows? So we'll have to look at the train. I'll probably run them a bit more, to be honest. They won't want to hear that, but it's probably the truth. I can give them a mini pre-season to get any little niggles out of my head, because that's what you get. Are they listening? Did they do that right? Should they have done that? Could we have done that? That goal wasn't right. What about that one? Don't start me on it all, because I'll be going back to the Barrow goal when we 3-0 up. Should have been, you know what I mean? Oh, don't go there. I'd rather not. I'd rather stay on the positives.
I guess it's a challenge, not exactly keeping focus, but I presume a week has a different feel when there's not that build up to a game at the end of it.
Well, it's when everybody else are playing as well, so you end up a game behind. If we could play the game on the Tuesday, I would. If we could play it on the Monday, I would. But obviously they'll still be away, whoever they've got. I don't know who they've got. But it's a bit disappointing there. But never mind, hopefully we can put it back in our schedule as quick as we can and see how we go on.
Short and sweet for me, thank you.
Obviously you have had to leave players out so far. Are you seeing the right responses from the players who maybe would have expected to be in and haven't?
Yeah, because I can pick someone else again if I want, if they don't pull their finger out and sort their lives out, It's quite simple, really. when you're at a good club and you have competition, you want to keep doing well. You don't want to be left out, but you should understand that there's other people, and the more you understand that it takes them to play well and you to play well, and if they're in your position, you're in a unit, and that unit should want itself to do well, and it should want each other to do well. So you shouldn't be wishing him, because if we win, we all win. That's what you got to get through to it, and it don't take long to realise you're in a really good club when you see how well everybody else is playing and you are. And if I can share it out, the responsibility is massive, because I've got a lot of young men who are learning to literally, last year we're playing in academy football and now they're in men's football. Totally different. Totally different. The intensity that you need, the seriousness of the scores, and what it means to let one goal in, let alone two. So, and that takes a huge thing. I'm mentally preparing them, physically and mentally, and sometimes you can be mentally tired rather than physically tired because you don't know it yet. So that's what I've got to watch out for them. But also, now I've got some more senior ones as well who can move around. You get suspensions and injuries and all sorts of other things that could crop up. And what we don't want to do is drop our level from there to there because we haven't got a squad that's strong enough. I believe if I can keep tickling them through, I think we'll all get better as we go, rather than just 1-11. And then these lot will be left here. So I'm going to try and do that. And it makes sense anyway because you're all fresh all the time. So that's the thinking behind it. Whether it works or not, we'll have to wait and see.
You spoke about showing the players Coach Carter last week. When you're thinking about those, how do you come up with those kind of different training ideas, and when do you know it's the right time to sort of bring those in?
It's all about the group, what they're showing me. And when we lost the other week, what was said, I thought, right, now's the right time to add that because I know what I'm expecting. I have experience. I know what things crop up when pressure starts to build and you're expected to win, and when you don't, and then the disappointment, it can come out in loads of different ways. So I'm just waiting on all of that to make some points that I've got in the background and pick the right moment to have the biggest impact. So I felt that was right. I think the lads got it. They got it better than any other team I've shown it to. It's profoundly affected one or two of them, particularly younger ones who haven't seen that film before. But it's a great learning tool for me to actually get across how important the privilege is of, to that man it was basketball, it was his privilege, and it told him about life and the discipline that he needed. So, and how he wanted to educate the lads, not just let them be better at basketball. So he locked them out because they weren't keeping up their promise. And if I make you a promise, I'll be there. If I got to be there by 5 to 8, I'll be there by 1:45, otherwise I'm late. So it's all about having the principles and discipline and building a group. And in that film, he throws someone out of the gym because they've lost the privilege of coming in. So the last club I showed it, I had to throw 3 people out, put them with the youth team. And as I told this lot, I ain't getting rid of any of you. None of you have lost the privilege. And now it is, would you do his suicide runs? And if not, why not? So what are you going to tell him? How do you want him to behave? So if you haven't seen the film, it's a wonderful thing because it's a true story. And any coach that's aspiring to be a coach, you have to look at that because it ain't about you, it's about them. It's about them. And it's so powerful when he locks him out of the gym and he's given up his job because it was voted not to, and he then sees the boys in there doing their education, not playing basketball without him. Absolutely wonderful, true story. So perfect timing. They're getting things from it. And you never know who that's going to affect the most. And wow, some of the effect on some of the younger ones is amazing, honestly. So I'm really pleased with it. And we're moving on. We're talking about each other. We're talking about what he's good at, what he's not good at, what you're good at, what you're not good at, coming from other people. So how can you not learn from that? And then once you've done your unit, you're then going to talk about the back unit or the front unit and tell them what you need from them, tell them what they're good at. So this is how we're all connecting. It's all coming from trying to build a squad, build a team, build togetherness, build it, build it, build it. And basically you do that by passing it over. Ain't me, it's them. It ain't us as a staff, it's them. So, got a long way to go, but it's quite exciting for me. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Plus, you've had Gavin coming in sort of high perch for quite a few games now, and I'm not putting just at it, but there's been some success since it's happened. So, what benefit do you feel like you get from him doing that?
You can't always see what you need to see down here. You can't. And I feel it's wrong if I sit up in the stand. So, what a wonderful place to have Gav. He talks to Biggie. I'm concentrating on what I'm seeing. And if there's anything else that we don't notice this low, Biggie will come and tell me, think about that. He'll notice anybody who might be a bit tired or what have you, not in the right positions. And wow, it's wonderful. You always got to find your way of utilising the people that you got. And I learned years ago, if you're trying to run a hotel and there's 2 or 3 bars in that hotel, you can't serve behind every bar yourself. You've got to trust people to do that, and then you hold the strings. And then there you go, and that's what I'm trying to do with this huge football club I got. It's wonderful. So his experience already for his age is quite incredible. What a sensible head he's got for a very young man. Who's unlucky to not still be playing. Last year when I first came in, I was thinking about seriously giving him 6 weeks of training because he knows and does it. Like, oh, but there you go. So the balance of what we've got going on at the moment, I'm pleased with. So I'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Hopefully we can sort things out.
Thank you.